Hey everybody, Rob from Karma Comment Chameleon coming at you with a couple of entitled parent stories. First one, kid finds a bike in my backyard, mom goes berserk when I take it back. Let's jump right in. Backstory. I'm a single parent. I have a beautiful girl that's turning 5 in August. The past year, I have been fighting with ex that tried to keep my kid away from me. Lawyers aren't cheap, and being single doesn't exactly help with my finances. Couple of months ago, I won the lawsuit, and I finally got to have my kid at my home again. For the past few weeks, she was saying she wanted a bicycle, but still recovering from the lawsuit bills, I wasn't able to afford it. Past week, I got my summer bonus, which finally gave me the financial boost I needed. So yesterday, I was finally able to buy my little girl her bike she wanted so badly. I enjoyed my time with her riding our bikes, but then it was getting time for dinner, which I still had to make. So we head back home and park the bikes in the backyard. We go inside, and I start making dinner. After about 10 minutes, I spot movement in the corner of my eye through the kitchen window that's on the side of the house. I see this kid, guessing 6 or 7 years old, just casually strolling by with the brand new bike I just got today. My heart dropped, and I ran to the front door, hoping I'd catch him before he rides away. I was lucky I did. I yanked the bike out of his hands and freaked out on him, saying it was mine and he had no right to just walk into other people's backyard to take things. I was pissed. I forced him to get off my property and set the bike inside my front hallway, thinking it's over. Boy, was I wrong. After comforting my little girl that never saw me this mad, poor thing, I returned to the kitchen to continue making dinner. 15 minutes later, doorbell rings. It's the kid and his evil mother. "You give my boy this bike back. He found it. It's his." He found it in my backyard. I got it for my kid today. You should try teaching your damn kid some manners. He shouldn't trespass on other people's property to take their things. Don't tell me how to raise my kid. Give me the bike back or I'm calling the police. Call the damn police. And I slammed the door in her face. By this point, my 4-year-old is crying her eyes out and I get to comfort her again as she's thinking she's losing her brand new bike. Her sobbing finally over, I try continuing to make dinner yet again. Preparations done. I'm about to put it all in the stove. Doorbell. I flip out, storm to the door, violently open it, getting ready to just explode in the woman's face. Guess what? She actually called the cops. I instantly calm down when I see it's the police and invite one of the 2 officers inside while the other stays with the evil woman. I explain the situation and show him the box the bike came in, along with the receipt that has my name on it. He shrugs and apologized for the inconvenience, assured me I won't be bothered again. I let him out and close the door with a smug smile on my face. I check the front window to see what's happening, and I see her go into full tantrum. It ends with her in handcuffs and in the backseat of the patrol car. Bye, Felicia. Don't know what happened to her, and I don't care. I finally finished dinner, and my kid still has her bike. That's all that matters to me. Boy, what a day. Oh wow, this kid's been raised right, going into somebody else's property and just taking things right out of it. Hold on, I wonder if we could get him to grab shopping carts too. On to our next story. Entitled parents think the movie theater is their living room. Let's jump right in. I've mentioned this in comments before, and a few people have asked me to write it up. The title, in a nutshell, is largely why I almost never go to the theater. It had been getting worse over years, mostly with people seemingly unable to put away their phones, and the fact that while theaters are the same size, they renovated them to cram in more seats. I used to be able to slip past a person seated without touching them. Now there is no leg room, and if you need to get up, everyone has to move into the aisle to let you out. This is not like the old days, where you had to wait a year or more for a movie to be released on video and then hope you could rent it. Buying them was $100 or more a pop in the old days. Now I can wait a couple of months and buy or stream the movie on my big screen television for less than the cost of the snacks. I don't have to shell out $8 for a soda and $12 for popcorn. Mostly, I don't have to deal with entitled people, mostly parents, who seem to think that because they have kids, their right to enjoy the movie as they, and their crotch goblins, see fit is more important than everyone else. It ruins the experience for everyone else, but they really don't care. Heaven forbid it be a single mother. They tend to be the queens of the entitled. There were a couple of events that put me into the just wait until it's out on video mindset. This was the first. I wanted to see the remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I skipped opening weekend because I know better. I went to the late showing on a Monday night. The movie started at 11:45 p.m. You want to avoid most people at the theater? Go that late. It's usually safe. You have a handful of adults, in this case mainly students at the local college, and other adults that just don't want to deal with kids. I had gone to the dollar store and bought a pack of Butterfinger minis. The theater didn't have Butterfingers, and all their candy bars, regular size, were $5 each. They were in the inside pocket of my denim jacket. I could smuggle in a turkey in those pockets. Tonight, though, I bought a medium soda and medium popcorn. Refills are free, but I didn't want to have to get up. The soda and popcorn cost me $15. I could have gone with a large for $5 more, but it was just me, not a small army. I didn't think I needed a gallon of soda and a bushel basket of popcorn. I remember the cost because I did the math later. The other use of the jacket was to keep from freezing to death. Even in summer, that theater is ice cold. As expected, there were a lot of empty seats, so I chose one about 6 rows from the back, in the middle. Great spot. They had already dimmed the lights and were running the previews when I got in. I let my eyes adjust, found my spot, and settled in to watch. A group comes in after me. I hear a strange sound behind me, the voice of children? Nah, couldn't be. It's almost midnight, on a school night, and this is a horribly violent and bloody R-rated movie. Nope, no one would do that. No one except an entitled mom. It also wasn't a kid, it was 4 kids. 4 children. The oldest was maybe 10, the youngest about 3, to see a movie called The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It wasn't like the title was ambiguous or anything. There is going to be a massacre, and it's going to involve chainsaws. It's right there in the title. She plops her butt down in the seat 2 seats to my right, in the row directly behind me, and I turn my head just enough to get a glimpse of her and the kids. She had 2 kids on either side of her, one directly behind me. Oh joy. The kids are all in their night clothes and each had a large tub of popcorn, a large soda, and a candy bar. That's $25 in snacks for each kid. She had the same for herself. Tickets at that time for all seats were $2. The only discounts were for senior citizens. Their tickets were $1. This woman had spent $135 to take her small children to see the Texas Chainsaw Massacre at 11:45 p.m. Whatever. Free country and all that. A lot more college-age students came in as the previews continued, nearly filling the theater. This was a surprise, but I figured they were just trying to avoid kids the way I was. The people behind me continued to speak in a normal tone of voice that I figured would drop when the movie started. The kid behind me, the 10-year-old, was kicking my seat repeatedly. His legs were long enough to reach the back of my seat and push, but not long enough to reach the floor. So that was what he was doing. He was arguing with his brother about something, and they kept shoving each other. The mother made one of the other kids switch seats because they were bugging her. The argument, however, continued. As the movie started, it started raining popcorn. The boys were throwing popcorn at each other. The mother didn't like this, so she told the kids to go sit with his brother. She didn't want the popcorn on her. They kept throwing it at each other, and me. I'm trying to watch the movie, and my seat is still being kicked. The boys are now full on wrestling behind me. The other 2 kids are loudly complaining about the cold. Their mother ignores them. Then they get bored and start to run around. They were running up and down the aisles, bumping into people, and demanding popcorn and sips of their soda. When they were refused, they went to their mother to complain. She screams out, "Y'all need to quit being so selfish and let my kids have a sip," nearly deafening me in the process. Their sodas, in case you were wondering, had been spilled or poured on the floor. I know this because at one point when I moved my feet, they sloshed in the puddle on the floor. Their brothers had thrown their popcorn at each other as well. Basically, $100 in snacks just dumped on the floor. They ate the candy. After a good 20 minutes of this crap, someone went out to tell the owner. Small town, she was always there. I didn't know this. What I do know is that the 10-year-old at this point shouted at his mother and siblings, who were talking non-stop at full volume, to "Be quiet, I can't hear the movie." Before I could stop myself, my mouth opened and words came out. "Yeah, it would be nice if you all shut up, and while you're at it, would you please quit kicking my seat?" The woman lost her. "How dare you tell me and my children to shut up? We have every right to make noise." "I have every right to hear the movie I paid to watch. My children and I deserve to have a night out. I'm a single mom, and you have no idea how hard that is. You probably don't even have kids." "Nope. I've raised a couple though. I never took them to violent movies on a school night." "I have a right to a life." "That's nice. Could you shut up now so we can hear the movie?" "No, I will not." Owner to entitled mom, "You need to come with me." "I want this rude girl thrown out. She is harassing me and my children." Random dude, this woman and her kids haven't shut up since the movie started. They have thrown popcorn all over the place, and there is a river of soda on the floor. Owner casts her light over the floor and tells them they have to go. The kids troop out without issue. The mother follows, screaming and cussing the whole time about rude teenagers. I was over 30, but then I didn't have 4 kids to age me. As the movie lets out, the concession girl is standing there offering a free ticket to everyone to see the movie again. I didn't see anyone take one. The entitled mother was still there arguing with the owner and demanding a full refund on the snacks. She was threatening to call the police if she didn't get it. Then she saw me. She followed me out of the theater to the sidewalk. You stupid you owe me $150 for snacks." "Nope. I was thrown out of the theater because of you. You have to pay me." "Nope. I'm going to call the police." I hear a voice in the crowd yell out, "No need, they're already here." I turn, and standing there is my step-nephew and his dad, and a couple of other local cops. His dad was the local police chief. Huge horror movie fans. My step-nephew was 19 at the time. "No, she doesn't owe you any money, but I am curious as to why you thought it was appropriate to take your kids to that movie. What's your name?" "I don't have to tell you my name." "Actually, as you're currently disturbing the peace, you do. Name?" Entitled mother gives her name. "You get those kids home. Have a good night." "What about my money?" "You were thrown out for disturbing the others in the movie. You are entitled to nothing." Whining. "But I'm a single mom, just trying to have some fun." "That's on you. Good night." He and my step-nephew walked me to my car, discussing the movie and how it was different from the original. He and 2 other cops that were there were getting ready to step in when the mother left the theater with the owner. They were off duty and figured she would leave quietly. The next day, he dropped a note to Child Protective Services to keep an eye on those kids. As far as I know, nothing ever came of it. I saw the woman about a week later in the grocery store parking lot trying to sell a gift card for gas money. I guess maybe she should have spent money on gas instead of popcorn for her kids to throw. This was the first time this happened. It started to become a regular thing. Parents taking their kids to movies that the parents wanted to see and just letting the kids run loose as though they were at home. It's gotten so bad that many theaters don't allow children in R-rated movies at all, or have an age restriction on anything but kids movies. It happened to me so often, even at late movies, that I invested in a home theater system and just watch at home. It's much nicer that way. I even bought a real theater popcorn maker. I've got to admit, I'm really surprised this theater let a mother in with a bunch of kids who were way underage to a movie that's going to obviously traumatize them and cause further issues. I know you definitely couldn't do that these days, and this is exactly why. This is Rob from Karma Common Chameleon saying thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe, like, and share the video with your friends so I can feed my chameleon.